how do you know that you're going to be a flop or that it's going to be bad or you're not going to be good at the thing if you don't try? You know what I mean? Let the world tell you that you suck. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Girl, What's Going On? I'm Christiana, and I think there's a whole lot going on, so let's just get into it. Oh, first, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I was trying to be like cool girl, not caring, like not mentioning the thing, but I see that you guys are watching, which is really cool, and I really appreciate you. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button on Girl What's Going On, so that I can, grow this channel a little bit. I think that would be really fun. I think I'm just interested in just growing a brand new channel from the ground up, because honestly speaking, the Christiana channel, my vlog channel, is ancient. It's the first account I ever made on YouTube, and I've done so many things over the years out of the one channel. I think I started off doing a lot of beauty focused videos. That I've always been a beauty girl, always been interested in makeup and fashion and all that. Literally like I have 16-year-old videos on YouTube, videos from when I was like in high school. I just actually saw a video the other night. I was looking at like what were some of my more popular videos and stuff, and I saw this video of me on my 18th birthday. I was showing everybody like my little outfit. I wore like a gigantic tutu, like, you know. I really was one of those kids just my whole life where the adults would be like, this is not a fashion show. School is not a fashion show. And it totally was a damn fashion show. Okay. Nobody ever told me, well, actually a lot of people tried to tell me different, but I didn't believe them. I never did. Anywho, I have a lot of thoughts and suspicions around the effectiveness of that channel, because it is ancient, one, and because I've done so many things out of that channel. Like I said, I used to do beauty videos. I have done vlogging, and then I did commentary for a minute. I did drama commentary, which we're not going to do here. Like, we will kiki about stuff going on, like, you know what I mean? We'll talk about celebs and stuff, but I used to like talk about people who were making content on YouTube or whatever, thinking maybe that was like a path, because, you know, just like anybody else, I would have ideas and thoughts about different situations that were going on, and I would get up here and I would talk about them. I think that the YouTube drama space has dried up over the years, though, and so there's definitely not much to talk about here anymore. But also, I didn't like how I felt doing that kind of content, honestly. And at one point I did switch from doing drama to doing more commentary around just things in the Black experience, which I do actually really miss doing that. And I do miss, I don't know, the amount of like I was doing research, you know what I mean? I was definitely coming with my own personal thoughts and opinions about whatever the topic was, but I don't know if I really appreciated at the time the way that my channel was popping around that stuff. Like, I was looking at the stats. Like I said, the other night I just spent some time just kind of looking at things. And when I was making that kind of content, people were flocking. Then, I don't know, it became too much. I started getting a lot of like anxiety around what it means for a stranger to come to my page, not understand me, not understand my positioning in the world, and being mean about it, being mean about my thoughts and opinions, being, you know what I mean, nasty, or like talking about my personhood, things about my personhood, in response to things that I was saying about a particular topic. Like, I think I talked about Chloe Bailey at one point. I don't remember what I said about her, because I love Chloe and Halle as a group, and that could be an idea of a conversation we can have another time. But like, I remember giving my thoughts and opinions on a performance that she gave, and people like just flocked from the depths of the hell of the internet to give me their thoughts and opinions about my thoughts and opinions. And it was just like little moments like that where it was like I maybe picked the wrong topic that would send trolls flocking. And I think the fear of the trolls really, really got to me at one point. And I stopped kind of making that kind of content. And also, like, I missed being able to share parts of my life. And so I went back to vlogging again. And it's definitely been fun and been a journey and stuff. And that's why I didn't like start doing this over there, is like I am not done vlogging. I just like require a certain amount of privacy right now. Not to mention that we're low key going into we're in a surveillance state right now. And I'm reading the room a little bit by choosing not to vlog right now. That's not like my only reason, but it is a part of the reason. But anyway, I don't even know, like I wasn't supposed to like open up like this, but actually I think it needed to be talked about because like I said, I love vlogging and I love sharing my life and all the things. I don't know if right now is the time. Anywho, I say all of that to say subscribe to this channel, and if you know somebody who is interested in like super chatty, shooting the breeze, fun and slightly more serious conversation, I think I am going to get back into doing video essays over here. You know, put the girls on, okay? If you know somebody who would enjoy this, put them on. I can do anything. You can do anything. And let me tell you how I know that. Okay. So I recently kind of got into a conversation about why I have decided to stop doing makeup on clients, which if you didn't know, your girl went to beauty school to be a makeup artist many years ago in 2011. And I since then have done all sorts of things regarding like beauty and stuff. Like I worked in a hair salon. I used to do hair at one point. I had some opportunities to do makeup. I worked in the e.l.f. studio. Like I worked for e.l.f. Cosmetics for a period of time. That was an adventure. I've talked about it before, but you know, we could talk about it again one day. I think the older I get, my perspectives on different things keep evolving, and that gives me like, I don't know, an endless stream of things to think about and like an endless stream of content around certain topics, which is really interesting. So we could talk about that again one day. But more recently was like inspired to get back out there and try doing makeup on other people again. One thing about me, right? I'm a Capricorn. If there's one thing we're going to do for sure is have a hustle of some sort going, right? I'm always going to have some sort of something up my sleeve, some sort of project, like I said, a side hustle, whatever. I'm always going to do that. And I'm really grateful like that the people in my life understand that about me. Like my 50 million businesses over the years, you know, I'm always going to have something going. And for the most part, people support me in whatever it is I decide I'm going to go do, which I know that I'm lucky for. Sometimes I go on journeys alone though, you know what I mean? Just to be clear. But then there are some journeys in which I take people with me. So I started doing makeup again. And this past year, I did like 6 weddings, to be clear. Like I like had a ton of individual clients. I did some birthdays, a ton of birthdays, just special occasions generally. It wasn't that I set out to be a special occasion girly. It just so happened that like when people want to get their makeup done, it's usually for a special occasion that's coming up. I think I only had maybe 1 or 2 clients that was like, I just wanted to get my makeup done. Like I'm not going anywhere. I'm going home after this. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. I also had some challenges doing that, if I'm being honest. One of my last clients shorted me by a lot of money, and that was, you know, if I was like a real functioning business, would have gotten probably really serious, but I chose to like let it go. I've also had some clients try to like fight each other, like like if I had a family that I was doing makeup for, I've seen them fight each other. I've seen them attempt to fight me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in Philly, so all kinds of things, you know? And it was really an experience, but I recently decided to put the whole thing down, ultimately because, you know, like I said, it started out as something I wanted to do for fun and to see if I could do it, because when it comes to makeup specifically, like I have had moments of self-doubt. When I worked at the e.l.f. studio, I remember the clients that would come in would be really mean, and it just made me be like, oh, like but actually, let me fix what I'm getting ready to say. I've also realized through this process that I'm not someone who can handle the anxiety of presenting my work to or service to someone else. Meaning like, you know, you do their makeup, you provide the service, and then they check your work, like that moment where they go to look in the mirror to see what you've done to them. I realized that my anxiety actually can't handle it. And what's crazy is like, I've been very lucky that people really love my work. You know what I mean? I've never had to refund somebody or something because they didn't like what I was producing. But just the anxiety of like, what if they didn't like it? And I never got over. There's a few other reasons, but ultimately, like, I'm not doing it anymore. And really, like, it really started to become what looked like a business. And that was not my intention. That was not my intention. But there have been so many times in my life, whether that was like me doing Silently Loud. If you know, I used to sew handbags made out of recycled denim. And I did that for 9 years, actually, like going to craft shows, selling online. I still have a ton of these bags that I never released into the world. They're just like sitting in a pile. Like I'm looking at the bag that they're in right now. I used to make handbags at one point not during the pandemic, but after the pandemic, had started a social media and communications consultancy, just to see if I could do it. And I damn sure could. I only stopped doing that because I decided I wanted to go back to my job, or I wasn't working there I wasn't working where I'm working now before the pandemic. I had, taken a break and gone to see other lands, but I have been generally with my org, like I have a solid 10 years with my org at various points in time. Like I would go do other stuff and then I'd come back, and then I'd go do some other stuff and then I'd come back, because I've known them since I was 20 years old. You know what I mean? I'm 34 now. I don't know. I'm definitely a Forrest Gump sort of personality, where like I've just experienced a lot of things, or I've been curious about a lot of things, and I'd set myself up to see if I could do it. And it turns out that I can do anything I put my mind to. And that's ultimately like the whole like kit and caboodle of it, is like, if you put your mind to a thing and you want to do it, don't doubt yourself. Like go try something. The one thing that I have gotten pushback before is around my willingness to just like go do the thing. Meaning like, if I get an idea that I want to do something and it's Monday, that John is probably operational by Friday. You know what I mean? I don't waste a lot of time when I have an idea for a thing. Like actually even this, I don't know if I'm calling this a podcast yet. I don't know what I'm calling it, this channel, you know. I decided I wanted to do this like 2 weeks ago. And now here I am. I have a logo, like I have signage, you know what I mean? I made these bumpers in between each segment like this week, you know what I mean? It doesn't take me a long time to go from like ideation to execution. Ultimately, like I think it's the go get you gotta have. Like this woman on TikTok talked about having a dog in you. You know what I mean? You gotta have a dog in you to decide that you're gonna do a thing. and then go do it regardless of what people think or how difficult you think the thing is going to be. You know what I mean? Maybe it is that you need to take some time to do some research, or, you know what I mean, get your ducks in the row, or maybe you do need money to do the thing that you want to do. Maybe there are like some obstacles or whatever, but like don't get hung up on the obstacles. And honestly, I be feeling like it be people's like, I feel like sometimes people be searching for obstacles, to be honest. Like, I know some people now who like have dreams of doing certain things or whatever, and it's like the fear that it won't go well is usually the thing that keeps them from even trying. How do you know that you're going to be a flop, or that it's going to be bad, or you're not going to be good at the thing, if you don't try? You know what I mean? Let the world tell you that you suck. Like that's honestly, I think how I've been moving throughout my life is like, I'm gonna get out here, try the thing, and let the world tell me that I suck. You know what I mean? And there's been stuff like that I've tried where I was like, you know, I'm not that good at this. You know what I mean? I'm not that good at this. And I've laid it down, you know what I mean? But at least I've tried. For example, I think that although I have had many, many, many blogs over the years, and blogs and websites and things like that, I created a Substack a couple months ago. And although, like I said, I can do a little bit of writing, I don't think that being a writer, like being a writer, is for me. I actually don't think that. And that was actually one of those moments where I was like, I actually don't think this is me, because I kind of started a new project, Elevated Quirk, where I wanted to start kind of documenting my outfits a little bit more. And I don't actually think I'm done with the Instagram portion of that project. I do think there's a world, I think it's just so cold right now. If I'm being honest, it's just so cold right now that I just haven't been interested in like putting outfits together and like documenting them for that channel, like for that page, you know. And so I haven't been doing that. Maybe when it warms up just a little bit, maybe I'll get back into it, who knows. But I think that the written documentation part of it, the Substack part of it, is probably not going to be for me. So to be clear, I do know how to be honest with myself when some shit ain't working. Okay, when it's not going well or when it's not working, I am real enough to be able to acknowledge the thing. But I'm never going to let anybody else like stop me from doing the thing, or the fact that I've done a lot of things to stop me from doing the thing. Because that's the other thing too. I think some people kind of look at the way that I hop, like hobby hop. Is that it? Hobby hop? I think I'm a hobby hopper. Okay. The way that I hobby hop from the outside can look a little bit alarming to people, because yeah, I don't stick to things for a long time, but sometimes I'm just trying to see if I can do it. Like, I'm just trying to see if I can do it. Like I said, I did Silently Loud, my handbag shop. I did that shit for almost 10 years. Like, you know what I mean? And it was one of the most consistent things I had been doing at one point. I decided to lay it down because I outgrew the handbags that I was making. Like, I was making these bags and I love the process still to this day. I really, really enjoyed the process of making the bags, putting them together, deciding how they're going to look and the different fabrics, and going to the fabric store with the intention of making more bags. Like, I enjoyed that process so much. I enjoyed being able to like take pictures of people with my bags and they're so happy to have it. Like, you know what I mean? Giving my bags a good home. Like, I loved that part and I miss it. Also, like, times have changed. Like, I noticed a few years back, like, that people were like coming to craft shows but not necessarily buying. They're just getting some fresh air for the day. You know what I mean? Like, I started noticing the change in the economy as a crafter a lot sooner than probably most people. And, you know, and my bags weren't even expensive. Like, I wanted to give them away. Like, I wasn't even charging a lot because I just wanted them to have a good home. Ooh, girl, not me forgetting where I was even going with that. I done forgot where I was going with that. I done got on my high horse, my soapbox, and I done forgot where I was going with that. Okay, sorry, it's dark in my room and kind of weird lighting. But what I was getting around to saying is that I outgrew the bags that I was making, meaning that although I loved the process of making them, putting them together and selling them, there was a part of me that felt like I didn't enjoy wearing them anymore. Like for a long, long time, I also wore the bags that I made and marketed them because I was wearing them. And I enjoyed having a cute little denim bag with every outfit, you know, and I had a ton of them, and I would make them and be like, dang, do I really have to sell this one? I think I might want to keep this. Like, I really enjoyed the bags so much that I mostly wore them myself, and I outgrew them, you know what I mean? And like I still have a very quirky girl sense of style, but my style has also matured in a lot of ways, and you know, it's sad a little bit, but that's what happened. I outgrew them. But before I put a bow on this conversation, are you sitting on a project that you just like haven't executed? Do you have an idea that you're like scared of people like not understanding, or maybe you don't fully get it yet? Maybe it's just like an idea that you're swirling around in your head. I would encourage you to like think about how you can make your dreams come true this year. You know what I mean? It's January. Like it's the end of January, but it's January. We still got 11 more months. Don't keep sitting on the thing. Try it. I remember hearing this thing a while ago. Basically like, you know, if you don't execute your idea that you have, at some point someone else is going to think of it. I heard that, and I think it changed my brain chemistry. Execute the idea before somebody else mess around and think of it next. You can do anything you put your mind to. Speaking of anything, I've been really in a rabbit hole lately around Mount Everest. This is so funny. Like, I didn't even think I was going to talk about this. I just like keep watching these videos and like doing research online about Mount Everest. But let me clear this up. Let me get this out of the way. I have no desire to climb Mount Everest, okay? Like I just made this whole speech just now about like doing what your heart desires and like not letting anyone stop you. Let me be clear. I have no desire to climb Mount Everest, but I am super interested in all the stories, because there's like hundreds of stories or something like of people who have like climbed Mount Everest and made it. You know, they went up there and they came back down and it was fine. And then there's tons of stories of people who did not make it. Maybe they never even saw the top of the summit. Like maybe they were on their way down and then things took a turn, you know? Because I think the biggest thing right now, like, or not right now, but like the biggest thing about climbing Mount Everest, to be able to brag about it, is apparently like doing it without oxygen, like without supplemental oxygen. To be able to go up there on your own and come back down is the thing. But the mind and body is a very tricky place, is what I've learned through this rabbit hole. And that without enough air, your mind starts to play tricks on you. Really interesting. Like the one story I saw, the person's mind started playing tricks on them and they started stripping out there, like taking all their clothes off because they thought that they were hot up there in the snowy mountains, you know what I mean, of Mount Everest. So many stories of like people losing their lives trying to help other people, but also that there's a lot of stories of people who lost their lives because nobody stopped. You know what I mean? I just, the last story I just watched the other night, the man, I forgot his name, sorry. But he like was climbing or whatever, like told his wife, you know, I'm going to come back to you alive, like no matter what. And he totally like climbed a mountain, got to, I think he did reach the top. And then on his way down, he started tripping. And it was like weird because like they said like he sat down for like 8 hours or something, and he had guides with him, and the guides were like trying to help him like get down, but he like wouldn't move, and the guide stayed with him for 8 hours which is so crazy to me, because like they say like you can't stay up there past 2 p.m. or something, or you're like in the danger zone. Like, I'm really into this thing, but you're like in the danger zone after 2 p.m. So the idea that like you're like trying to help somebody and they won't move, they like have sat down, they won't get up or whatever, it's past the time, and you've been at this thing for 8 hours or whatever, like they eventually they like poked him in the eye. So this is like crazy. Like they poked him in the eye to see if he, like, cause he stopped reacting, like, and they thought he died. And so they poke you in the eye to see if you're with us or whatever. And he was like non-responsive after like going into some sort of like hallucination spiral. And so those people like leave him there. And they like call his wife and stuff, and be like, and they like told the wife like, your husband has died, like he died like 20 minutes ago or whatever. They said at some point the man like snaps out of his like hallucination phase and realizes like where he is and what's going on and stuff, and like holds on through the night and like is out there all night long. And then the next day, like some people who were climbing up find him. And what's interesting is like these people paid, I think, $20,000 to climb Mount Everest. Like you got to pay mad money to do it, or I don't know if that's like to pay the Sherpas, like because there's like people who they're like experts at doing the thing. You got to pay them to like guide you up there. I don't know why the $20,000. But instead of ignoring him and like going on to achieve this goal that you've paid all this money, they actually did stop to like help the guy, and they like helped him figure out like how to get down or whatever, and he was able to go back to his wife. And I was just like so I was taken by this story, because mostly not because of the man who was like climbing, but because of the next set of hikers that found him. Because really it's like the compassion that you have to have over the money, because again, like, and the money and ego actually, because to be able to say that you've climbed Mount Everest, I'm sure that's like an ego thing too, but to decide that you're gonna like help this person who you don't even know, and basically he's almost dead anyway, like, to be clear, like he's basically dead anyway. I think they said he lost several fingers and like toenails and toes and whatever. The fact that they stopped to actually help him was really, really I don't know, gives me hope for humanity. Would never be me though. Would never be me. Never be me. But to be clear, I have no idea why I'm in this rabbit hole so bad. I don't know. I just find it really interesting. The things that people want to do with their time and with their lives, how they are willing to die or risk dying, because people do live, how much you're willing to pay for this experience. It's all really interesting. So for pop culture and internet, I jotted down some things we could talk about. I recently saw this video. I think I did take a screenshot though. But somebody realized that Candace Owens was a video vixen at some point, and she's like in the background of somebody's music video. It's just so weird. Like, it's weird watching her like be black. I don't know. I thought it was weird. We're not gonna spend too much time on that. The next thing is that okay, I was scrolling and ran past this New York Times kind of piece, and I wanted to actually read it. I skimmed it last night and I was like, oh, this is interesting, but I thought we could read it together, just a little bit that they had posted in the comment section. But the piece is called "My Old Friend Might Be Dying. Should I Tell Her That I'm Dating Her Ex?" Yo, okay, so I thought it was very timely because I feel like I've been keeping y'all in the loop, right? Of like that other night when I made the joke about like, should I text my ex-best friend about this Day 26 concert or whatever? I totally did. I said other things though. Like I actually took a real crack at being a real grown-up adult lady who like tries to be accountable for things and apologize and like all this stuff, even though like I don't know, I just feel like the situation is so old that who knows who was really wrong, you know what I mean? But I felt like if I apologize, that'll like be like a stepping stone towards progress, you know what I'm saying? As the Capricorn who would rather die than apologize. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just realized what I just did just now. I'm like, you know, there's a reason I apologize. I don't want y'all to think I was wrong. I'm a mess. God is working on me. But anyway, I was left on red, right? And I have to accept that. Like, but also I feel not relieved, but now I know for sure that it's not me that kept the situation from moving forward or mending. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It is what it is. But anyway, I saw this and I was like, oh, I'm going to read this to the girls. Okay. So this is what's going on. Okay. A reader asked the ethicist, about a decade ago, a close friend and her husband separated. We met through our children and bonded as she supported me through career challenges and our shared experiences with separation. My friend and I eventually drifted apart. Despite my attempts to reach out a few years ago, I never heard back. I also knew her husband through a support group, and we developed our own friendship over time. 6 months ago, I learned she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. More recently, her husband and I, both divorced, unexpectedly fell for each other. We have proceeded with care, mindful of the history. She has now reached out, asking to reconnect. I've postponed a meeting, feeling paralyzed. I don't want to lie, but I dread telling her that I'm dating her ex-husband while she's seriously ill. How do I preserve honesty without causing unnecessary pain? Very interesting. And you know the comments was in shambles over this. The comments were in shambles over this. But honestly, okay, can I tell you what I think? Because you know I am. I actually feel like the lady probably know. She probably know. You know what I mean? Not that we like have to make it our duty to like keep tabs on people we've dated or whatever. Or they weren't even just dating, they were married. But I feel like sometimes your spirit be telling you to go look. I feel like I can definitely say that for me, right? Like sometimes my spirit has told me to go check on somebody, go see how they doing. You know what I mean? I feel like that lady probably know. I saw some comments that were like, you're selfish. You are a selfish person if you come to her with this sort of information. You know what I mean? And I think I understand that as well. I think that if it was me, maybe I'd wait to see if she brings it up, right? But also I don't know if I'd want to be around her knowing I had a secret. I'm definitely like that. If I'm not feeling a situation, if I'm not feeling you, I don't want to kick it with you, skate with you, nothing. You know what I mean? Like AI, like T.I. in ATL. I see how I messed that up. AI, T.I. in ATL. I don't want to kick it with you, skate with you, nothing. If I have something on my heart about you, and I feel like I also would have like postponed meeting, I would have been a little bit more distant, not wanting to hang or whatever until I got something off my, I would have had to get that off my chest before we could do anything together. I'm so sorry. But I think, I don't know, for real, I probably would have had to tell her. And maybe, like I said, I think she knows. Like, I feel like you would tell her and she'd be like, oh girl, I know. I know. But either way, that situation is so like, you know, being really sick, you're at the end of it. What's crazy is that he probably would have, if they were still together, he probably would have left her anyway. I've been seeing some crazy statistics around men's inability to stick around through terminal illness. I also like have a friend who's no longer with us, whose husband left her when she became terminal. So, you know. What are you doing in this situation? Are you admitting it up front, or are you doing like T.I., not kicking it with her, skate with her, nothing, because you got something on your heart and you don't want to like mess up her final days with this foolishness? Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about, and then we're going to head out. We're going to get into a little bit of politics, I think. So yesterday was Friday the 23rd, and there was a huge day of like economic blackout and protests and things in Minneapolis. And I have a lot of close ties to people doing work there. And it was really interesting, like seeing, like, first of all, I'm so happy that like the coverage has been really, really good. In these Times covered it, and the New York Times covered it. So other places did too, but those are the articles that I've seen myself. And seeing the people just like rise has been really amazing. The amount of mutual aid is amazing, helping people who are just like unsure of what the future holds. I think this is a time of just extreme uncertainty, and people don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. People who are just like doing their jobs as journalists, like the stuff with Don Lemon, and like literally like people coming to just report on what's happening there are getting in trouble. And this is just like a time unlike we've ever seen, but also that it's beautiful that people are just basically being like, no, like you're not gonna keep behaving like this in my city, my town, my state, get out. You know, and the people rising up will never be defeated. It might be hard, it might be tough, it might be really scary, and it is, but the people will not be defeated. In the same breath, it's not to say that this work will be easy or that people will be unscathed by what's happening. We did lose another person today. I'm just like seeing the headlines and stuff come in. That feels bad. Like that feels bad. They were basically taken out of here for recording what was going on, recording ICE, like, you know what I mean, going about what they're doing. He's not here anymore because he was recording, something that many people do, especially now, because these people are coming into cities and literally kidnapping people. They're saying he was pew-pewed like 10 times or something. These are different times. Like, we are in a different time. And of course, we'll find out more information as the days go. But the videos are already out. It's just ugly. I don't have a lot to say about it right now. And I you know, who knows if I'll keep talking about it or not. But there is something to say about the complexion of the people who are literally losing their lives right now. I think there's a lot to comment on there. We also know historically that it has taken people with a lighter complexion to decide that they are gonna be what makes the change, that they are gonna be the ones that stand up and say, hey, we're not gonna do this. But it is scary to see it happening in real time. Rest in peace to that man. Rest in power to that man as we stand together and push forward. No tea on me today. Like I said, I had been holding this situation in Minneapolis this whole time. We've been talking about other things, and I'm just kind of sitting with it, if I'm being honest. And I think that's what we all need to kind of do. It's like, sit with it, look at what's happening, and prepare. However that means to you. Y'all be safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.